The Second World War has taken a step back in formation to let modern combat stand at the front lines in recent years, but with smart innovations and a fresh outlook on gameplay, the genre has had a recent resurgence. Wolfenstein: The New Order put an interesting twist on the series with an alternate take on history, and the weather system in Company of Heroes 2 added a significant layer of depth to the RTS. Now, Sniper Elite 3 is set to further expand tactical, open-world, old-school military combat and prove that World War II is still a deadly place to play. Sniper Elite 3 moves the series from the ruined streets of Europe to the sandy terrain of Africa, where tanks rule supreme. Players control Karl Fairburne from the previous Sniper Elite games, but you'd never know it because his background is never referenced. A paper-thin story about the Nazis essentially trying to build Metal Gear exists solely to frame each mission. The change in scenery from the previous game is both a blessing and a curse, as generic brown landscapes endlessly repeat themselves, but the spacious environments encourage an adaptable, non-linear playstyle.
This is a good place to use my binoculars.
As a sniper, you can expect long stretches of downtime before you get to unleash the fury. But when that time finally comes, it's pretty glorious. The series' trademark X-ray kill cam returns with each skilled shot obliterating the insides of enemy soldiers. Faces explode in a shower of bone fragments, and vital organs get ripped to shreds, all to the thundering boom of each fatal shot. The gimmick does not get old. In the 9 hours it took to finish the 8-mission campaign, our final X-ray kill was just as enjoyable as the first. Unfortunately, the other weapons are not nearly as fun to use. Machine guns and pistols feel generic and unsatisfying, and although setting up traps is highly encouraged, they're unnecessary for the majority of the campaign. Knife kills are solid, but the inability to stealth kill an enemy from behind cover is cumbersome and can give away your position. This can be especially frustrating due to inconsistent checkpoints that require you to replay up to 15 minutes of a mission. Combined with annoying glitches like disappearing enemies and falling through the ground, the game can seem to lose focus at times. Thankfully, the sniping is extremely polished. The feeling of making it to a sniper's nest unseen is exhilarating. Getting to a tactical position takes work, giving your rifle added value. Holding Fairburne's breath steadies his aim, and depending on the difficulty, bullet drop and other variables have to be accounted for. The noise mechanic forces a thoughtful approach to picking off targets instead of just blindly firing at every swastika in sight. Sometimes planes fly overhead, artillery is fired, or a sabotage generator makes enough racket to mask your dirty work. It's a thoughtful system that makes relocation and movement a necessity. Each mission has optional objectives offering bonus XP that range from sabotaging Nazi motor pools to rescuing prisoners. XP is carried across all game modes and unlocks weapons, equipment, and modifications. The objectives never feel worth it though, and are little more than a diversion from the main missions.
Das ist die neueste Wunderwaffe, die Ratte P1000.
Survival is Sniper Elite's version of Horde mode. It can be played solo or cooperatively. 15 waves of enemies have to be eliminated, and points are awarded for how each one is snuffed out. You get 30 seconds in between each round to change positions and set up traps. It's nice to have an additional way to kill some time after the campaign is finished, but the confined spaces go against what Sniper Elite is all about: long-range, high-value kills. When so many enemies are flooding into the arena, a sense of intimacy is lost, and each kill loses value.
Yes!
Extreme server problems with the PlayStation 4 version forced us to play competitive multiplayer on the PC. Standard and team deathmatch modes are mostly a wash thanks to most players sprinting around with machine guns, but there are two highlights: Distance King and No Cross. Distance King rewards more points for long-range kills, encouraging players to keep their distance and thus rendering automatic weapons obsolete. No Cross pits two teams on opposite sides of the map with no way to access each other's territory. It's a mode that emphasizes patience and delivers a pleasant amount of tension. More points are awarded for killing enemies from different locations, which helps discourage camping. Both modes offer a fresh take on multiplayer in a crowded military marketplace and are a nice addition to the overall package. Sniper Elite 3 definitely improves the rare but rewarding genre of open-world sniping. Being thoughtful about each shot instills a sense of companionship with your rifle, and we definitely felt an unexpected bond with our terrifying tool of death. Everything involving firing that rifle is fun, it's just too bad the other elements in the game aren't as impactful.